Hi there, this is the Heir of Carthage bringing you a Rome Total War online commentary battle. This is being fought on the Pripyat Marshes map. I am playing as the Numidians, and as you can see, my troops are already skirmishing with some cavalry auxilia of the Brutii Romans under the control of Failboat, my opponent. So he brings in these cavalry auxiliary and attempt to take out some of my archers, and I quickly drive them out with my Numidian camel riders and long shield cavalry. So let me introduce you to my army. I have 4 Numidian legionnaires up front. I have a unit of desert infantry on either flank, 3 units of Numidian javelin men, 6 units of archers, 2 units of camel riders, 2 units long shield cavalry, and 1 general's armored bodyguard. My opponent, Failboat, in command of the Brutii Romans, has 4 units of archer auxilia out front. His infantry consists of 6 urban cohorts, 2 legionary first cohorts, and some praetorian cavalry, which is currently hiding in those trees. So to start off with, I get in a nice little archer fight, and as you'll notice, my troops are staying in the woods, and that is to provide them cover from archer fire, and also it gives an attack bonus or a combat bonus to my archers. So we get in this archer duel for a while, and because I have superior numbers and the help of the trees, I pretty handily make short work of his archer auxilia. I think there I was still chasing out a bit of his cavalry. And there come my arrows flying in. You can see the archer auxilia start to drop. Yeah, how would you like this to have been your job in the ancient battles? It'd be nice to be sitting there shooting your bow, arrows landing all around you, never knowing when one of them is going to pierce you, and heaven forbid it pierces you in an unmentionable area. That would be terrible. So, in any case, I'm going to fast forward, and let's get to the meat of the action here. I'm just going to leave the video recording because it shouldn't take me too long, but I'm going to get positioned over here by my army. So, this is just like real life, how, you know, generals used to fast forward through battles. Obviously, that's sarcasm. La la la. Yeah, so I turned on my flame arrows to help run out his archer auxilia, and then we both kind of wait a minute to see what the other's going to do. I'm sure he would love me to come out of the trees, but because of his praetorian cavalry, I'll not be coming out of the trees. I really want his horses to fight at the disadvantage of being in the woods. Alright, so the Brutii Romans are marching forward. My men are going in and out of loose formation, just for fun, because I accidentally pushed a button that I shouldn't have. So yeah, these urban cohorts, they're way more than a match for my for my Numidian legionnaires. I guess they both just look the same. My legionnaires are probably more on the order of early legionary cohorts, but I'm not even sure if they're that good as far as morale goes. So I immediately moved some of my archers to his flanks because he is taking all of his praetorian cavalry to my one flank. He also has a unit of legionary first cohort to support his cavalry. I'm sure he's scared of my Numidian camel riders, which give me the benefit of frightening the enemy horses. I guess horses don't much like the smell of camels, and they become frightened. So I move my cavalry a bit. I'm trying to invite him closer to my infantry line, so that if I engage his cavalry, I can also swamp him with infantry. And then we throw our pilla. He moved up and allowed me to have the first pilla throw, which was a very good thing for me because his urban cohorts have much stronger pilla than my legionnaires, so I'm still going to take quite a beating from the pilla exchange, though I have his men pretty well beat up too. So his men were down in the 60s and 50s. Most of my legionary troops haven't taken too many losses, fortunately. So he brings up his cavalry in that unit of first cohort, and I decide that I am going to charge, and I have my archers on flame, and I'm going to draw in all of my Numidian javelin men to help bolster my numbers. Now this is still a very big risk. His praetorian cavalry does have some upgrades, they're very strong, and they have a unit of first cohort providing infantry support and morale support. But if you'll notice, here's one of his praetorian cavalry. It says, oh no, let's see if it has the camel. Concerned over exposed flanks. happy over taking casualties. Well, anyway, I can't actually find it saying it on here, but I know that the camels frighten nearby horse units. So, I think that's what worked to my advantage, and not to mention I had my general in the fray for morale support as well. It's still a bloody fight. Right here I lose a unit of desert infantry, but as you can see I've committed a lot of infantry, and so has he. My javelin men are fighting valiantly against first cohort and urban cohort units. That's a pretty dangerous job for them, so I'm pretty glad that they decided to fight for the cause. But when his cavalry riots, I can now send in my infantry to support my javelin men, and that fight is going to turn against that first cohort. So let's take a look up at the front lines. It's a pretty good fight going on up here. I have more numbers, but he has better quality, and so if left in this fight, I don't know if my men can win or not. However, he's trying to outflank me on this side, but I have my archers to his rear, pouring in flaming missiles, which is going to very much decrease his morale and help me to turn that fight into my favor. So my archers are helping to save the day as well. Like you can see there, all the flaming arrows pouring in. Now a bunch of my men start to rout here. It's really bad. I've got camel riders, javelin men, all routing, some archers. Yeah, so that's really bad. And then I have more units back here routing, more camel riders. So yeah, his infantry ended up besting my men there. I took the troops that I had left though, and I kept in the fight over here. My general's armored bodyguard's still around, so that's helping my men here not to keep from routing. And I leave them here to fight with these urbans while I take my general unit on to do some hammer and anvil. And I break that unit of urbans. This unit of urbans has just routed from the infantry fight. And he sees my general's bodyguard is coming in for hammer and anvil, so he's going to remove one of his units from the fight in an attempt to take away my charge. So here they come. They're going to help keep my general away from his flanks. This is still a pretty close fight, even though it may look like I have more troops. My men aren't near as good of quality as his, so it's still a very tough battle. My men over here are doing pretty well. My general, I'm just running around, basically distracting this first cohort. So they're going to run around chasing my general, and I'm just going to keep running around so that he can't commit them into this fight. I brought my archers in here too to help make these urbans feel a little more surrounded, and that does help out. It bolsters my numbers, and then it makes the urbans worried about their flanks. So I take my general out and around the flanks. His men are kind of chasing them pointlessly. And over here, these urban cohorts aren't doing so well. Again, he's trying to chase off my men, and that's just going to cause him casualties as I fight. So my general's circling back around, although his unit's very tired and he's not moving so fast anymore. Let's get down in here close and watch this fighting. So right here, his legionaries aren't really fighting me too well, they're kind of running around. I'm sure that's helping me out. And right here, I'm about to bring in another strike with my general, and here it comes. It gets slowed down by my own men, so it's not super effective. But again, it's going to help to overwhelm these urban cohorts. Sorry, these trees keep getting in the way. So there you go. There's me finishing off the urbans. It's going pretty well. Yeah, I was really surprised this fight went this well for me. My opponent really had a better army in a lot of ways, but I used my forces to the best of my ability to be able to turn this fight in my favor. So yeah, in any case, now I can mob his remaining units, and they end up routing anyway, and this battle has been won for me. I really like playing as Numidia, but they're a very weak faction, so they're not necessarily really easy to win with, at least not unless you have particular skills for using them, and I don't. So in any case, you can see that I deployed 1,445 men, had 1,233 kills, and 675 men remaining. My opponent, Fail Boat, deployed 1,385 men with 893 kills and 151 men remaining. Good game to Fail Boat.